Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croy Dragon and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. Starting a bit earlier than I would be, but I don't know, OBS is being wonky with window capture and just showing me a white screen, so I can't do commentaries. So let's just get started. When I step into the reception room, everyone is already there waiting for me. I catch Roach's eyes first. He cocks his head ever so slightly, his lips stretching into a warm smile. I nod at him and smile back. I take a deep breath before facing everyone. This is the first time I have spoken properly with everyone. Let's run it again. This is the first time I have spoken properly with everyone since my father's death. Before I tell you of my decision, I want to apologize for everything that I have done and for everything that has happened. Mother is back because I was a coward, and father died because I was weak. Miranda. Ophelia is the first to respond. It wasn't your fault, dear. I stared down at the ground with my hands clenched. I tried to will my anger away, but only managed a few deep, stilling breaths before I looked up again. I brought Mother back because I feared that disobedience would have... let's run it again. I brought Mother back because I feared that disobedience would have killed my father. Yet in the end he was still... The image of Father's smiling face flashes through my mind. I clear my throat. I promised him that I would protect Angiel, and that is what I intend to do. I will do everything I can to protect our kingdom. Spoken like a true queen. The words are shocking, even more so when they come out of Dolores' mouth. Queen? Why do you seem surprised, princess? You know you're next in line for the throne. I hadn't even thought about being the next ruler. I'm not even sure I have the right qualities. Can I really do this? I wanted to see you become queen. Protect our kingdom. I cannot let father down. I have to do this for his sake. But the kingdom comes before the crown. I will only have to take the crown back if I can win it back. Wait, this one again. I will only have to take the crown if I can win it back. I will need your help sounds like the best choice. I am still weak, but that will not stop me from training every day until we face Mother. I hope I am not asking too much, but I hope you will all fight with me to protect our kingdom together. You didn't even need to ask us that, Miranda. It goes without saying that we'll help you in any way that we can. I second that. We'll all be here for you. I smiled at everyone gathered. Yeah, I guessed right. So this is what it feels to be trusted and needed. It feels good. It will be hard, but we won't stop Mother. Together we might stand a chance against her. Elder is strong, but not invulnerable. Parfait looks at me, eyebrows furrowed. Do you know what we must do to stop Hilda, Princess? I feel a tinge of pain in my chest, but force my eyes to hold Parfait's gaze. I look into Parfait's eyes with determination. I do. Later that same day, I resumed my training with Waltz, while Parfait and Delora try to combat. This one again. Later that day, I resumed my training with Waltz, while Parfait and Delora try to come up with a plan. Jurian and Gordon returned to town to listen for any information regarding Mother and Alcaster, or any happenings in the palace. I forced myself to focus only on learning how to use my magic as fast as I can. Today, Roach is continuing his lessons on barriers. He has been teaching me the same spells from the past week, emphasizing my protection. Let's review the types of barriers I have been trying to teach you. Do you remember them? One shields you from harm, while the other deflects a spell back at the caster. Powerful spells cannot be deflected. That's why you need to be able to tell which spells can be reflected and which cannot. Otherwise, you'll end up using the wrong barrier. A single mistake can cost you your life. So how do I know what barrier I must use? Allow me to demonstrate. You've seen me cast spells many times, so you should be able to tell the difference between them. But for now, let's think of it as another game. Just take a guess. Who knows? You might actually give me the right answer. I'll give you a nice little treat if you do. A treat? He always did like treating me in town. It's special this time. I wonder if it's just like those other treats he treated me to before. Walt snaps his fingers and a glimmering but faint purple light appears around him. It is faded at first, but slowly becomes brighter as he moves his hands. Usually the effects of Walt's magic are immediate, but this spell takes longer to cast. Is it stronger magic? I remember Walt telling me before that it takes a lot of energy to cast a strong barrier. Does that apply to offensive spells as well? Question time, what kind of barrier should you use? I'm going to guess shield. The slow casting time makes this seem like a powerful spell, and powerful spells cannot be deflected. Surely this is the right answer. Is that your final answer? My confidence is thwarted by sudden indecision. Miranda, in the midst of battle, you won't have the luxury to think about your decision. I look at him and nod. It should be the right answer. That is correct. Now prepare your shield. I have never shielded myself from a powerful spell. What if my barrier breaks? Trust in yourself, Miranda. I do as instructed, and stretch out my hands to cast a barrier to shield myself. Here I go! My hands shake as Roach's spell collides with my barrier. I plant my feet to hold them upright. I plant my feet to hold myself upright. Such a strong spell. When the light dissipates, I look up hesitantly before smiling triumphantly when I see that my barrier is still in one piece. I did it! Well done, little star. I eye the barrier again. My heart sinks when I notice new cracks in its surface. My barrier. Don't fret, Miranda. Even the strongest barrier will obtain cracks after being hit by a powerful spell. That is when you set up your next barrier. Your opponent will usually make the mistake of assuming you have the same shield up, and attacks you with a weaker spell to try and break it. You can be ready for them with a new barrier. I nod. I'm impressed at how fast a learner you are. I have a good teacher. I think you're just a good student. So when will you teach me offensive spells? I don't think you need to learn those quite yet. The witches we're up against will probably stick to offense, which means protecting yourself will be even more vital than trying to attack them. I told everyone that I would fight, and I meant it. If I need to hurt someone to save someone, I will do it. I look him in the eyes, my gaze unwavering. I still need to learn, even if it is just one offensive spell, Waltz. What if I need to help you? I cannot do that by just conjuring barriers. I will not lose anyone this roll again. I will not lose anyone else this time, Waltz. I look up at Waltz and my heart aches at the sight of this roll again. I look up at Waltz and my heart aches at the sight of his frown. I do not want to lose you either. That is why I need to be as strong as possible. I want to be able to protect you. Waltz makes his way over to me in just a few strides and pulls me into his arms. I will do what I can to save you from a repeat of what happened last time, Miranda. But you won't lose me. Waltz pulls back and looks at me, his expression... Let's try that again. Waltz pulls back and looks at me, his expression warm and gentle. Here is your treat as promised. Huh? Waltz bends down to place his lips over mine in a soft kiss. It is a short-lived kiss, but it's still enough to make me breathless. You're all red, Miranda. That was your special treat? Disappointed? I quickly pressed my cheek to his chest to keep him from seeing my tinted cheeks. No. Let's call it a day. You need rest. Teach me an offensive spell first. Miranda, we've been practicing since morning. It will be dark soon. You already know that overusing your magic will take a toll on your body, especially when you're still getting accustomed to it. I shake my head at Waltz, determined. Using my magic before did wear me out, but now I can handle more. What kind of bearer would I be if I couldn't handle this much? Please, I am begging you, Waltz. He eventually sighs and rubs the back of his neck. Okay, but just one spell. Thank you. He steps away from me. What I will teach you is a lightning spell. It is not for the faint-hearted. I will in this roll again. It will inflict excruciating pain on your enemies and also potentially paralyze them. Oh, so like Thundershock from Pokemon. I nod as Waltz continues his explanation. Though I try my best to conjure electricity, I have only managed sparks at the end of the day. I collapse onto my bed. I can feel the exhaustion lying over me like a blanket. I can barely move my arms after trying the lightning spell over and over again. I need to learn that spell as soon as possible. I yawn and close my eyes. Sleep comes easy that night. Miranda, that voice. Come back to me, my sweet princess. No. You have no choice in this, little one. You will come back to me, whether you like it or not. I will be waiting for you. I sit up in my bed, my heart pounding loudly in my chest and in my ears. A dream? I wipe unexpected beads of sweat from my forehead as I calm myself with steady breaths. No, I will never go back to you, Mother. I end up waking up later than usual, a result of my practice from yesterday. When I step inside the reception room, I see Doreen and Garland speaking with Parfait, Delora and Waltz. There was a definite solemnity to the air. They all turn to look at me as I approach. Did something happen? Princess, the palace made an announcement today. They are issuing a higher bounty on your head for murder and treason. What? It was very strange. What with the fact that I haven't even bothered to look for you since that day. Something must have happened that forced them to suddenly act. Delora soon gathers everyone in the room to discuss Doreen and Garland's discovery. The only one who is not here is Annis, who is in town buying ingredients for the merchants' meals. Oh no. But Miranda didn't kill anyone. Isn't there some way to convince them? Allcaster is in power now, and the people favor him. Now that everyone remembers who I am, they are once again frightened of me. No one would listen to you. They haven't seen how much you have changed. If only, if only they could understand. I barely even touched the space bar. If only they could understand your circumstances, then they might be more sympathetic. I look at Emma Legney in surprise and find myself smiling at her. Thank you for your kind words. I turn to everyone once again and frown. Once again, I am the one putting everyone in danger. I am so sorry. If any one of them gets hurt, I will never forgive myself. Waltz takes my hand and squeezes it. The simple gesture does wonders to calm my nerves. Don't be too hard on yourself, Miranda. We've told you already, we want to help you. We're in this together. He's right. I'm not sure if there is much Rod, Emma Legney or I could do, but we will definitely support you until the end. Before I might have cringed at her words, but now Ophelia has nothing to gain from pretending. Mother is right. We are a family and we will not abandon you. Ophelia and Emma Legney are both smiling at me warmly. Even Rod seems to have a ghost of a smile on his face. Thank you. I apologize for bringing this up, Karma, but is it possible to ask for reinforcements from Frugantia? Frugantia is one of our neighboring kingdoms. We have never had close ties, mostly because Frugantia's king tends to stay away from our personal and political affairs. They have always refused to engage in any sort of violent affairs. We all look at Karma, who stands there looking sullen. After a few moments, he lets out an exasperated sigh. You want me to ask the Kingdom of Frugantia for help? I remember Karma mentioning before that he was part of a noble family, but I did not expect him to be from Frugantia. What is he doing here, and how could he possibly ask for help from a king? The king does not participate in battles or skirmishes. It seems unlikely that he would provide support. He wouldn't provide assistance, not even if his own son asked him. Son, you mean, yeah? Karma is the Prince of Frugantia. Well, then again, I knew that. And if you played his route, well, that's just telling. But then again, this is a revelation of Karma's route. It is pretty obvious that's what happens. Karma crosses his arms and sighs. Well, I suppose there's no use hiding it anymore. Yes, I am the son of King Clement of Frugantia. Judging from the sudden quiet in the room, it seems that poor Faye, Delora, Waltz, and the knights were the only ones that knew. Excuse me. You're the Lost Prince? The Lost Prince? Gennaro told me that King Clement's oldest son had disappeared just a year ago. There were circumstances. My family never knew I had the fairy tale curse. I was forced to leave my kingdom so that I could come here to break my curse. He came to Angio to break his curse? His eyes wander slowly to me, but then he focuses once more on the conversation. To answer your question, though, no, I do not believe my father would send help. He hasn't heard from me since I left a year ago, and he would most likely think me some kind of impostor unless I showed up at the kingdom's doorstep. Even then, you would have too many questions. and we would never get the help we were seeking in time. It seems we can't rely on them for help then. Um, we all turned to stare at Annis. The fine, the fine lady Annis has suddenly appeared in the margin. What magic is this? I actually just came back. I'm sorry for startling you all, but I found this and I had to bring it back. Her smile fades as she points out a flyer for us to see. An announcement? From the look of it, 4 days from now, Allcastle will make a speech about the changes that are to happen in Angio. Changes? That doesn't sound very promising. It means bad news, but it may be worthwhile to take a look. This might give us some insight into what's happening at the palace. Hilda is still in hiding, but it seems very likely she could be involved in all of this somehow. They could be plotting something special for that day. Garland and I can go to the event, then. We'll make sure not to stand out. I am coming too. Miranda. I need to know what is happening. I cannot hide forever, Waltz. I won't go, and I do not need anyone's permission to do so. Well, I guess you're technically the next queen after all. Delora, don't encourage her. We both know how stubborn she is. She won't stay put even if we command her to. Delora looks at me and winks. Porphyry lets out a heavy sigh. Waltz and Carver will accompany her then. Waltz nods. Carver looks somewhat startled, but eventually nods as well. So until that day comes, we all need to prepare for the worst case scenario. I have been practicing my magic non-stop since the day we heard of Allcaster's speech. I continue to work on my barriers while continuously attempting that one offensive spell Waltz tried to teach me. Okay, remember what I told you. Focus your energy on the tips of your fingers until you feel the current flow through your veins. Okay. Good, now try to cast the spell at me again. I stretch out my hand and imagine the energy gathering. This one again. I stretch out my hand and imagine the energy gathering at my fingertips. I see sparks as I begin to cast the spell. Good, keep working. At the end of my casting time, I can feel the lightning snaking up and down my arms. Now release it. I direct the spell at Waltz with as much strength as I can muster, but it barely touches his barrier before it fades away. I groan. You're getting there, Miranda. The magic is weak, but it might still be able to paralyze someone for it. The magic is weak, but it might still be able to paralyze someone for a time, so long as you hit them when they don't have a barrier up. But the speech is tomorrow. I will not be able to master it by then. You don't need to. Let's not assume things will be so bad. We're only going there to watch a speech. If that's all it is, you won't need your magic. The two of us continue to diligently work, but after a few more rounds, my arms are sore and my mind is foggy. Waltz calls it a day, and the two of us retire to our rooms for the night. I have tossed and turned in my bed for what feels like an hour, but sleep still will not come. It has been almost a month since I last visited town, and it is impossible to not imagine the worst possible scenario for tomorrow. I will probably be awake until the sun rises. I turn to glance at the doll that Waltz gave me so long ago. She sits on my table, her glassy eyes staring back at me. I wonder if he is already asleep. Maybe he can help me calm my nerves. Waltz? There is only silence. Maybe he is already asleep. I am about to leave when the door suddenly opens. Miranda? Hello, Waltz. Let me guess, couldn't sleep? I nod. Come in then. I sit on his bed and look around. My eyes shift to his table where I notice a pile of sewing materials and an assortment of puppets. You have been working on your puppets? Yeah, I couldn't sleep either. It's been a while since I last did a show, but I want to make sure my puppets and materials are ready to go once this is all over. I am sure the children are looking forward to seeing your shows again. Yeah. Silence and mm. Silence ensues as Rock sits down beside me with one of his puppets. He begins to slowly sew at one of the seams. Now, obviously, say something. I I am worried about what may happen tomorrow. You think too much, Miranda. I do. I stare at the puppets on his table. When this is over, will you finally let me be your assistant? Walt smiles and pats my head. Yes, when this is all over, I'll give you the spotlight. I'm sure the children will love your puppet shows. Talking about what happens afterwards makes me feel normal. It gives me some hope. Hope that eventually everything will go back to normal. I feel better now. Thank you, Waltz. Oh? I'm not sure I even did anything. You have just by being here with me. You know I'd do anything for you, little star. Little star. There's that nickname again. Does it bother you? No, I was just wondering where it came from. Oh, right. I never told you the story, did I? Back when I was little, listen again. Back when I was still your mother's apprentice, my life was dull and empty. Then you showed up. Your circumstances were the same as mine, but your light never faded. You became my hope in that dark place, my light. That is why I consider you my little star. I can only stare at what I can only, I can only stare as what smiles at me. Right now, all I want is to stay by his side, to stay within the comfort of his warmth. I look at him, and a thought shifts into my head, tinting my cheeks pink. What is it? Can I stay with you tonight? What? Well, Walter's face is tomato red. He looks shocked. I can't. It's not that I don't want you to, but I might. I mean, he glances away and begins mumbling to himself. I suddenly feel dejected. Don't make that face, little star. Walt sighs. Okay, you can stay. Really? Yeah. Oh, good. We both lay side by side in the bed, shifting only slightly. Walt is especially stiff. I wonder why. I loop my arms around his waist and snuggle into the crook of his neck. Walt tenses beneath me. I feel like I'm being punished. What? Nothing. Thank you for letting me stay. My room felt colder than normal tonight. I couldn't help thinking about tomorrow, and then about father, and my words trailed off as I tried to focus on Waltz's warmth. Please do not leave me as well, Waltz. Miranda, look at me. I moved back to look at him. Waltz stares at me with an intensity that makes it difficult to look away. His features are illuminated by the soft moonlight, making them stand out all the more. My heart skips a beat. I'm not going anywhere, Miranda. I will always be wherever you are. I promise to always protect you. I reach out to touch his cheek. Thank you. He smiles at me before putting his arm around my waist and pulling me closer. I snuggle against his chest, taking in his warmth. I eventually fall asleep in his arms. And that's enough for today. I'm Brian Croy Dragon signing out. Stay straight.